His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to UAE President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the 54th anniversary of the UAE's National Day. In the cable, His Majesty expressed sincere congratulations and best wishes to the UAE President for good health and happiness on this occasion, praising the comprehensive development achievements of the UAE in various fields and areas and the high standing it has achieved in the international community. His Majesty wished the UAE and its brotherly people further progress, prosperity and security under the wise leadership of His Highness. His Majesty also expressed pride in the depth of the brotherly relations between the two countries within the framework of their strategic relations and close ties. His Majesty affirmed the keenness to develop and enhance these relations in a manner that meets the aspirations and ambitions of both people and achieve their common interests and goals. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a cable of congratulations from the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa on Bahraini Women's Day, held this year under the theme Bahraini Woman, Distinction, Creativity, Innovation. Her Royal Highness affirmed that the kingdom's celebration of this day embodies the vision of His Majesty the King in his belief in the role of women as essential partners in state building. Her Royal Highness stressed that the progress achieved by Bahraini women under His Majesty's patronage reflects their status and contribution to the comprehensive development process. Her Royal Highness pointed out that the prominent position Bahraini women have attained both locally and globally, and their receipt of major regional and international awards are the outcomes of His Majesty's unwavering support. Her Royal Highness added that the SCW is inspired by the support of His Majesty. She added that the Council pledges to continuous dedicated effort and dedicated work within its mandate to fulfill His Majesty's aspirations towards boosting women's progress and advancement. Her Royal Highness also reiterated the SCW's commitment to highlighting women's achievements and gains across all domains and enhancing their active presence in various national sectors, ensuring the sustainability of Bahrain's development and prosperity. His Majesty sent a reply cable of thanks to Her Royal Highness, in which His Majesty expressed congratulations to Her Royal Highness on the occasion. His Majesty expressed appreciation to Her Royal Highness and to the SCW members for their dedicated efforts to advance the status of Bahraini women and empower them to contribute to the progress and development of Bahrain. His Majesty also praised the prominent role played by Her Royal Highness at the helm of the SCW. His Majesty commended the significant accomplishments of the SCW under the leadership of Her Royal Highness, as well as the contributions of Bahraini women across various sectors, including politics, the economy, society, and culture. His Majesty expressed aspiration for further national achievements within Bahrain's comprehensive development process, which continues to open prospects and opportunities to enhance the position of Bahraini women and their vital civilizational role. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to the UAE President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the 54th anniversary of the UAE's National Day. His Royal Highness sent a similar cable to the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and the Vice President, Deputy Prime Minister and Chairman of the Presidential Court of the UAE, His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa received a cable of congratulations from Her Royal Highness the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, on the occasion of Bahraini Women's Day, celebrated this year under the theme Bahraini Woman, Distinction, Creativity, Innovation. Her Royal Highness commended the success achieved by Bahraini women under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and with the support of His Royal Highness, noting that these achievements continue to enhance the role of Bahraini women within the kingdom's comprehensive development, making them essential partners in shaping Bahrain's future. Her Royal Highness highlighted that Bahraini women have been provided with promising opportunities within an environment that ensures equal access to advancement, innovation, excellence, and leadership role across various sectors and fields of decision-making. Her Royal Highness added that the national female workforce continues to receive strong support, contributing to their enhanced role across the kingdom's productive and service sectors, thanks to the ongoing efforts and steadfast support of His Royal Highness. His Royal Highness sent a cable of congratulations to Her Royal Highness on the occasion, which is marked annually on 1st of December. His Royal Highness extended his congratulations and appreciation for Her Royal Highness's efforts, as well as those of all members of the SCW in their continued work to enhance the status of Bahraini women and support their empowerment to achieve further success within Bahrain's comprehensive development led by His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness commended the distinguished achievements of the SCW under Her Royal Highness's leadership. His Royal Highness expressed pride in the prominent role and contributions of Bahraini women across all sectors, noting their significant impact in supporting Bahrain's progress and prosperity. His Royal Highness extended his best wishes to all Bahraini women for continued success, growth, and advancement. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Ghlibiyya Palace. The cabinet commended the bilateral talks held between His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif. The cabinet noted the outcomes of Prime Minister Sharif's official visit to Bahrain in advancing joint relations and creating opportunities for further cooperation. The cabinet welcomed the GCC leaders to Bahrain for the 46th session of the Supreme Council of the GCC, held under the chairmanship of His Majesty the King. The cabinet expressed its wishes for the success of the summit to further strengthen joint Gulf cooperation and coordination. The cabinet then extended its congratulations to Her Royal Highness, wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, SCW, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, as well as all Bahraini women on Bahraini Women's Day. The cabinet commended the role of the SCW in empowering Bahraini women across all the kingdom. The cabinet recognized the success of Jewelry Arabia, Cityscape Bahrain, and Scent Arabia, reflecting Bahrain's role as a regional hub for exhibitions and conferences. In this regard, the cabinet extended its gratitude to the personnel at the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Tourism, the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, and the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, as well as other authorities, for their contributions to the success of these events hosted by Bahrain. This follows the review of a memorandum regarding the impact of these exhibitions on the kingdom's economy by the cabinet. In this regard, the cabinet also emphasized that the Celebrate Bahrain season represents an important platform to showcase the kingdom's rich tourism, cultural, and entertainment offerings, and directed the relevant authorities to continue efforts to enhance Bahrain's position as a leading tourist destination. The cabinet commended the ministries which implemented the recommendations in the National Audit Office NAO reports and directed relevant government entities with observations in the NAO annual report for 2024 to 2025 to implement the recommendations. The cabinet noted the NAO's role in fostering cooperation with government agencies to achieve the kingdom's aspirations. The cabinet then congratulated the UAE, its president, government, and people on the 54th anniversary of the UAE's National Day, noting its distinguished progress and development across various sectors. The cabinet then reviewed several memorandums submitted by the ministerial committee and ministers, approving the following: legal and regulatory procedures related to real estate development projects, the population census of Bahrain up to mid-2025, the proposed agenda for the 46th session of the Supreme Council of the GCC chaired by Bahrain, a draft agreement between Bahrain and Trinidad and Tobago on exemption from the visa requirements for holders of diplomatic passports, an MOU between the Institute of Public Administration of Bahrain and the Institute of Public Administration of Jordan, The Cabinet also reviewed the framework of priority programs for the Ministerial Committee for Information Technology and Communication. Finally, the Cabinet noted the following ministerial reports. The visit of the Minister of Foreign Affairs across the GCC countries. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the second session of the Bahrain-UK Strategic Dialogue. The visit of the UK Minister for Food Security and Rural Affairs. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the Dubai Air Show 2025 in the UAE. The outcomes of the Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications visit to the UK. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the Hajj and Umrah Services Conference and Exhibition 2025 in Saudi Arabia. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 41st meeting of the Council of Arab Ministers of Justice in Egypt. The outcomes of the Bahrain's participation in the second International Conference on Justice titled Judicial Quality in Saudi Arabia. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 55th session of the Council of Arab Information Ministers in Egypt. Bahrain's membership in the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, which is affiliated with the UNESCO. The outcomes of the visit of the Minister of Technical and Higher Education of Sierra Leone to Bahrain. The external engagements of ministers as well as visits from ministers of allied countries during December 2025. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa attended the Combined Command Post opening ceremony at Ras Al Bar camp held under His Royal Highness's patronage. The National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, Lieutenant General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and His Highness Lieutenant Commander Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa were also in attendance. Upon arrival, His Royal Highness was received by the BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, the Commander of the Royal Bahraini Air Force Air Vice Marshal Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and the Commander of the U.S. Central Command Charles Bradford Cooper II. The post is established and inaugurated as a result of the solid partnership between the BDF and the U.S. Central Command. During the ceremony, His Royal Highness highlighted the long-standing Bahrain-U.S. relations, which are underpinned by deep-rooted partnership and reinforced through joint agreements, including the Comprehensive Security Integration and Prosperity Agreement, CCBA. His Royal Highness underscored the importance of further bolstering the bilateral partnership across various sectors, particularly within the military and defense fields, to advance shared aspirations. His Royal Highness was briefed on the Combined Command Post tasks, operating mechanisms, and its role in enhancing regional security through bilateral cooperation between Bahrain and the U.S. His Royal Highness expressed gratitude for the combined efforts that led to the establishment of the post and wished all those attached to the post success in carrying out their duties in safeguarding the security and stability of the kingdom and the wider region. His Royal Highness emphasized the shared aspiration of Bahrain and the U.S. to advance bilateral ties, stressing the significant role of the United States and its allies in safeguarding regional and global security and stability, as well as supporting development efforts. The Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, chargé d'affaires at the U.S. Embassy to Bahrain, Elizabeth Litchfield, along with several senior officials from the BDF and the U.S. Central Command, were also in attendance. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, along with members of the Supreme Organizing Committee and the Executive Committee of the 3rd Asian Youth Games at Ghlaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the importance of strengthening Bahrain's standing as a host for major regional and international events, supported by its advanced infrastructure, high-skilled national workforce and strong organizational capabilities, which reflect the aspirations of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness commended the progress of Bahrain's sports sector, noting the significant achievements as well as the ongoing efforts to further strengthen the industry. His Royal Highness highlighted the efforts of the Supreme Organizing Committee, the Executive Committee, volunteers and organizers of the 3rd Asian Youth Games for their dedication, which ensured the successful hosting of the event. His Royal Highness also congratulated the Bahraini athletes who won several medals during the Asian Youth Games. His Royal Highness outlined that the success of these games should be an example for Bahrain to host larger events in the future through continued cooperation between sporting associations and relevant government entities. His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad and the members of the committee expressed their appreciation for His Royal Highness's support, which contributed to the successful organization of the Games and the achievements of its objectives. They affirmed their continued dedication to strengthening Bahrain's standing in hosting regional and international events and forums. The 3rd Asian Youth Games was recently hosted by Bahrain under the patronage of His Majesty the King. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King, President of the Supreme Council for Women, SCW, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, attended the celebration marking Bahraini Women's Day, held under the theme Bahraini Woman, Excellence, Creativity, Innovation. On the occasion, Her Royal Highness affirmed that Bahraini Women's Day is an annual event that receives the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. She expressed gratitude and appreciation for the unlimited royal support that continues to be the cornerstone of the advancement of Bahraini women, and for the government's support headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, which has ensured opportunities for advancement, excellence and leadership for this institutional work and for Bahraini women. Her Royal Highness then delivered the following speech.
الأميرة سبيكة بنت إبراهيم آل خليفة قرينة ملك مملكة البحرين، رئيسة المجلس الأعلى للمرأة، راعية الحفل، بإلقاء كلمة بهذه المناسبة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب السمو والمعالي والسعادة، الحضور الكريم، إنه ليسعدني اليوم أن نلتقي بكم في هذه المناسبة العزيزة على قلوبنا جميعاً للاحتفاء بيوم المرأة البحرينية. والبحرين تحتفل بلقاء الأشقاء من قادة دول مجلس التعاون لدول الخليج العربية باستضافة مباركة لمؤتمر القمة 46 بالتزامن مع بداية الاحتفالات الوطنية بعيد الجلوس والعيد الوطني المجيد، وهي مناسبات تحمل في طياتها الكثير من القيم الوطنية الراسخة التي تجسد ثقة الوطن بأبنائه رجالاً ونساءً، ونجدد فيها عهود الالتزام والمحبة لهذه الأرض الطيبة. إن يوم المرأة البحرينية هو محطة سنوية مضيئة لطالما حظيت برعاية كريمة من قائد المسيرة حضرة صاحب الجلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى آل خليفة عاهل البلاد المعظم حفظه الله ورعاه. وإنني في هذا المقام أتقدم بعظيم الشكر والعرفان على الدعم الملكي السامي واللامحدود الذي كان ولا يزال الركيزة الأساسية في مسيرة تقدم المرأة البحرينية. وأحيي الدعم الأصيل والمقدر من الحكومة الموقرة برئاسة صاحب السمو الملكي الابن العزيز الأمير سلمان بن حمد آل خليفة ولي العهد رئيس مجلس الوزراء حفظه الله ورعاه، بما كفل لهذا العمل المؤسسي وللمرأة البحرينية فرص التقدم والتميز والريادة. اليوم نحتفي بالمرأة البحرينية بما حققته من تميز وإبداع وابتكار، وبما حصدته من جوائز إقليمية ودولية بفضل ريادتها وتميزها، والدعم المؤسسي الذي أسهم في تشجيع وتسهيل دخولها لتلك المجالات، ودعم الإرادة السياسية التي فتحت لها آفاقاً واسعة تقديراً لكفاءاتها. وهو شعار يؤكد مساعي المجلس الأعلى للمرأة وتوجهات الخطة الوطنية لنهوض المرأة البحرينية 25-26 التي تجسد رؤيتنا المستقبلية للسعي نحو الريادة واستدامة الإنجاز والتميز للمرأة البحرينية. الحضور الكرام، ونحن على أعتاب مرحلة جديدة تتزامن معها بدايات دخول المجلس اليوبيل الفضي لمسيرة عمله المؤسسي التي بدأت في عام 2001، ليؤكد على توجهاتنا ورؤيتنا للمرحلة القادمة في الطرح التالي: التأكيد على أن الشأن الوطني والمشاركة في برامج التنمية الشاملة واجب لا حياد عنه، والعمل بالتعاون والتنسيق مع الشركاء في تنفيذ عمل المجلس وخططه الوطنية لتحقيق توجهات مملكة البحرين المستقبلية نحو رؤية 2050، والتأكيد على أهمية المحافظة على ما تحقق للمرأة من مكتسبات نوعية على المستوى الوطني، والعزم على مواصلة مسيرة التقدم والإنجاز ومواكبة التطورات التقنية الحديثة. وفي الختام نتوجه بتحية صادقة إلى كل امرأة بحرينية قرأت وتعلمت وشاركت في تحمل مسؤولياتها الأسرية والمجتمعية، وما زالت تسطر فصولاً جديدة من قصص النجاح، سائلين المولى عز وجل أن يكلل الجهود الوطنية المخلصة بالتوفيق والسداد، وأن يحفظ هذا الوطن العزيز آمناً مزدهراً بقيادته الحكيمة وبسواعد أبنائه وبناته المخلصين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Then a special film was screened on this occasion, highlighting Bahraini women's leadership and innovation in a number of sectors and their excellence that extends beyond the kingdom, in addition to showcasing the most important milestones in a women's journey in various fields and their growing role.
عيونها لم تكن ترى إلا المستقبل، قلبها ينبض بالإرادة والعزيمة، نشأت في بيئة راسخة في حب الوطن، تحيط بها قيم الصبر والتحدي وتغذيها روح العطاء. كبرت هذه الفتاة الصغيرة وكبرت معها أحلامها، تطورت بفكر ناضج وقلب مليء بالأمل، تراكمت الخبرات وواجهت التحديات، لكن قوتها كانت أكبر من كل صعوبة. في كل لحظة كانت تقرأ الزمن وتكتب مسار نجاحها، لم تنتظر الفرص بل صنعتها، وجعلت من كل عقبة خطوة جديدة نحو القمة. هنا تقف مؤسسة حاضنة لطموح المرأة البحرينية وموجهة لمسيرتها نحو آفاق غير محدودة، لتصل إلى أعلى المراتب والتقدير على كافة المستويات والأصعدة.
فإن ذكرى العيد الوطني المجيد ويوم المرأة البحرينية توأمان في نسيج واحد، ويومان مشرقان من أيام البحرين الخالدة،
وتقديراً لكل ما قدمته المرأة البحرينية من تضحيات وإسهامات جليلة في طلبها للعلم تارة وفي نقلها للمعرفة تارة أخرى، يأتي يومها ليعلن أمام الجميع بأنها شريك جدير يطمح للتغيير والتطوير، وبأنها قادرة على إحداث المزيد والمزيد من النقلات النوعية في مسيرة عطائها مهما تعرج طريقها.
Afterwards, the guests greeted Her Royal Highness. Then, SCW member Sheikha Hassa bint Khalifa Al Khalifa, SCW Vice President Dr. Sheikha Maryam bint Hassan Al Khalifa, and SCW Secretary General Lulwa Al Awadi honored female figures who have won regional and international awards. During the ceremony, the entities that contributed to supporting Bahraini Women's Day 2025 were also honored. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa attended the launch of the 4th edition of the Muharrag Nights Festival held as part of the Celebrate Bahrain season. Festivities take place along the Pearling Path from Qal'at Bumahir to the Pearl Museum, a Siyadi Majlis celebrating the city's rich and vibrant history. His Highness affirmed that national festivals and events held in Bahrain are an important boost to tourism and the economy, highlighting that such events reflect the kingdom's heritage and successes over the years, thanks to the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the directives of His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. His Highness noted that the Muharrag Nights Festival is a prominent event within the Celebrate Bahrain season calendar, celebrating Bahrain's identity and Muharrag's long-standing heritage and contributing to strengthening the kingdom's position as an attractive regional tourist destination. His Highness highlighted that the ongoing success of these events and showcasing the kingdom's rich culture and heritage reflects Bahrain's commitment to boosting the tourism sector. His Highness commended the outstanding organization of the festival, expressing appreciation for the efforts of the organizers in highlighting Muharraq's authentic cultural identity and reinforcing its presence as a vibrant cultural destination. For his part, the President of the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, Baka Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, expressed appreciation for His Highness's attendance and continued support for the kingdom's cultural and heritage events. He affirmed that the festival has firmly established itself as one of the most prominent cultural events in Bahrain and the wider region, making it a significant moment within the cultural landscape of the kingdom and neighboring countries. He noted that the festival represents an exceptional celebration of the historic city of Muharraq, reinforcing its role as a cultural beacon and its unique identity connected to the Pearling Path, inscribed in UNESCO's World Heritage List. He highlighted that organizing the festival as part of Celebrate Bahrain season underscores the kingdom's ongoing commitment to showcasing national heritage. He noted that Muharraq, listed within UNESCO's Creative Cities Network, continues to strengthen its cultural presence thanks to the living history and heritage assets, which make it a continually renewed center of creativity on the global cultural map. He emphasized that the festival continues to show each year due to the role in enhancing cultural awareness and supported by partners from the public and private sectors who contribute significantly to the success of this major cultural event. The Deputy Prime Minister and Chairman of the Ministerial Committee for Development Projects and Infrastructure, Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, announced the completion of all settlements related to stalled off-plan real estate development projects in Bahrain that were sold before the issuance of Law 27 of 2017 regulating the real estate sector. This announcement follows the auctioning of the final stalled development project, Marina West, at the end of last November, and affirms the ministerial committees confirmed that there are no remaining stalled off-plan projects that were sold before the issuance of the real estate regulatory law in 2017. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed appreciation to His Majesty the King for issuing Decree Law 66 of 2014 on the settlement of stalled real estate development projects, and to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister for the Cabinet's trust in the Ministerial Committee to oversee these projects. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah affirmed that the ongoing support and directives of His Royal Highness and the Cabinet were decisive factors enabling the committee to complete its mandate according to a well-defined regulatory and legislative framework. He explained that in light of the market challenges experienced in the early 2000s regarding stalled off-plan projects, the issuance of Decree Law 66 of 2014 introduced for the first time dedicated legal mechanisms to address such cases effectively and transparently. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah further noted that 14 stalled real estate development projects were reviewed and settled under the provisions of the decree law, a limited number compared to the scale of real estate development witnessed in the kingdom over the past 2 decades. The settlement of these projects reflects the government's firm commitment to safeguarding the rights of investors and buyers. He extended appreciation to the Judicial Committee for the settlement of stalled real estate projects, both its chairman and members, for their dedicated efforts in reviewing and resolving these projects using the appropriate legal instruments. He also commended the cooperation of all concerned government entities to ensure transparency and sound management throughout the process. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah added that the completion of the settlement process came after the auctioning of the Marina West project, which had been referred by the Ministerial Committee to the Judicial Committee, reflecting the government's determination to adopt practical solutions that protect rights and reintegrate stalled real estate assets into national economy. The Deputy Prime Minister also stated that the Ministerial Committee successfully resolved 3 out of the 14 projects through amicable means, without referral to the Judicial Committee, by directly working with the developers and facilitating project completion according to defined timelines. The remaining projects were referred to the Judicial Committee, which proceeded with their settlement through legal processes as stipulated by the law. Administrative measures related to some projects are still being finalized to ensure the rights of all relevant parties are fully preserved. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah emphasized that the successful settlement of all sold off-plan real estate development projects sold prior to the enactment of the real estate sector law sends a clear message of reassurance to the market and investors alike. It reaffirms Bahrain's commitment to responsibility and transparency in addressing sector challenges and to enhancing its legal and regulatory framework in line with international best practices. He further noted that the legislative framework was completed with the issuance of Law 27 of 2017, which established a comprehensive structure for market regulation. This included rules governing off-plan sales, the creation of a dedicated register for such projects, licensing and governance requirements, safeguards for investors and buyers, and transparency measures. The law also established the Real Estate Regulatory Authority to oversee implementing and compliance. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah affirmed that the real estate sector, under the leadership of His Majesty, with the follow-up of His Royal Highness and support by the current legal and regulatory framework, has become more robust, attractive to investors, and capable of supporting sustainable economic growth. Under the leadership of His Majesty the King and with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Supreme Council for Women has succeeded over more than 2 decades in making a series of achievements that enhance the status of Bahraini women in all areas of development. This success is the result of the support and follow-up of Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, an active partner in building the country. More in this report.
Reflecting the awareness of the role of women as an integral part of the nation's progress, the leadership of His Majesty the King and the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister leads the march of excellence and innovation for Bahraini women in all areas of development. His Majesty the King's presence is the pillar on which the Supreme Council for Women is based, which carries a clear vision that sees Bahraini women as essential partners in the development process. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister continues to promote this approach through practical mechanisms that translate this vision into realistic programs, expanding the Supreme Council for Women's cooperation with government agencies to develop female leadership and build institutional partnerships that support women's participation in decision-making. With the support of His Majesty the King and the executive vision of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Supreme Council for Women is expanding its work towards more advanced stages in which women move from empowerment to broader areas of excellence, creativity, and innovation. This integration is embodied in joint initiatives with national institutions that invest in women's capabilities. This support extends to establishing the principle of equal opportunities in national visions, integrating women's needs into national planning, and adopting the national gender balance model as a tool for measuring impact and raising the level of achievement, ensuring a progressive path that promotes women's excellence and leadership. Thanks to the continued support of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Supreme Council for Women is moving forward with confidence while Bahraini women continue to enhance their presence in leadership and decision-making positions.
The Ministry of Health celebrated Bahraini Women's Day in the presence of Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health SCH, Lieutenant General Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Health Dr. Jalila Hassan, and a number of officials and representatives of the Supreme Council for Women SCW. The SCH chairman expressed pride in the distinguished presence of Bahraini women in the health sector and their achievements in quality initiatives that reflect the great support they receive during the prosperous reign of His Majesty the King and with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He affirmed that female cadres, thanks to the support of Her Royal Highness the wife of His Majesty the King and SCW President, have demonstrated high competence in various sectors, especially the health sector. The Minister of Health expressed appreciation for the remarkable achievements of Bahraini women, praising the support of His Majesty and the support of His Royal Highness, which paved the way for women to occupy advanced positions and make a positive impact on national development. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Romehi, attended the Bahraini Women's Day organized by the ministry. She pointed out that Bahraini women enjoy the continuous support of His Majesty the King and the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. The minister praised the pivotal role of the Supreme Council for Women, chaired by Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, and its efforts and programs that contributed to the advancement of Bahraini women. She affirmed that this national occasion highlights the long history of excellence, creativity and innovation achieved by Bahraini women in various fields. Romehi affirmed that the ministry will continue to support the council's efforts and promote programs that provide women with greater opportunities for leadership and active participation in shaping the future of urban development in the kingdom. The Supreme Council for Women has achieved numerous accomplishments, as evidenced by the figures highlighted in the extent of positive change in the empowerment of Bahraini women in various sectors, contributing to the nation's progress and development. Women in the GCC countries is a key focus of Gulf development, with ongoing efforts to promote their participation and expand their role in society and the economy. Empowerment policies are evident in supporting women's access to the labor market, promoting them to leadership positions, and developing programs that strengthen family stability and quality of life. More in this report.
The presence of women in GCC countries is a milestone in comprehensive development projects, as GCC countries have adopted clear policies that enhance women's participation in various sectors and established a legislative environment that protects the family and supports social stability. As part of their institutional efforts, GCC countries have worked to expand the participation of Gulf women in the labour market through programs that promote equal opportunities, legislation that regulates family leave, and the expansion of social protection. These steps have raised women's employment rates and enabled them to participate in the public and private sectors within a vision that places competence as a fundamental criterion for harnessing women's talents. GCC countries have also witnessed remarkable progress in women's participation in decision-making positions, with women assuming leadership roles in government institutions, advisory bodies, and vital economic sectors, supported by initiatives that promote professional and leadership training and open up broader paths for career development. This is consistent with broader Gulf trends that seek to build a more participatory society and harness women's capabilities to support growth and sustainability. At the social level, GCC countries have been keen to develop programs that promote family stability, support mothers and children, and provide integrated protection and care networks to provide quality of life and enable women to balance their family responsibilities and developmental roles. This progress is an extension of a broader Gulf initiative that relies on investment in people as a pillar of development and considers women's empowerment to be a fundamental element in building a more diversified and competitive economy. With women increasingly present in leadership, economic and social sectors, GCC countries continue to consolidate a model that promotes women's participation and celebrates their achievements as active partners in the region's future.
The GCC electricity interconnection is one of the most important infrastructure projects approved by the GCC. Among the benefits of the project are reducing the reserves required in each country, mutual coverage in emergencies, utilizing surpluses, and reducing the cost of electricity production.